Hey everyone, I'd like to make a video of my Volkswagen build, the process of it, and or the progress of it, and kind of give you a little bit of a tour. Once again, this is my 2010 Volkswagen GTI with a big turbo, with lots of goodies. It's still work in progress, and I'll kind of explain to you where the car is at or which stage it's at the moment, and kind of to give you perspective of what to expect from this channel, what this car is all about, my vision for it, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown of how I would like to see this car being done in the future. So my name is Dimitri. I used to be a Lexus tech, and now I've been owning this car for about 5 years. It's been a slow project. I've done all the work pretty much by myself for the little things like alignment and stuff like that. This car, as it sits, it doesn't make a whole lot of power. It's still just been tuned on the 94 Octane with very low boost. If I remember correctly, it was only making 13-14 pounds of boost. The turbo kit is APR, old APR GT3071R with an upgraded turbo. We swapped the turbo to GTX3071R. I can't remember if it was a Gen 1 or Gen 2. It was a used turbo that was fully rebuilt with a brand new billet turbine on it, or compressor wheel, I should say. And yeah, I'll start off with the engine because that's probably the most important, the most exciting thing. And once again, don't judge too hard. This is work in progress. I'm kind of been testing everything little by little, kind of trying it out, see what works, what doesn't work. These are all the companies that I've worked with, but I'll start with the little things, the basic things that I did right away. I'll give you the story. So this car was fully stock when I bought it. It had only 60,000 kilometers on the clock. It's a Canadian car, one owner, barely winter driven. So there was no rust, no scrapes, no chips, nothing like that. I wanted a bone stock car with DSG, with someone who kind of just drove it to work and back and did not modify anything. So the first thing I've done was actually a CTS intake. It used to be basically all it does is replaces the original tubing and just gives it a little bit of filter, kind of points this way. And I got it tuned by Unitronic. And sorry, there was a downpipe as well that I installed. It was a catless downpipe. It was some Chinese downpipe, I'm pretty sure, cast downpipe. I didn't really care. I just wanted to see what this car could do. Pretty much bone stock without any modifications. I went to my friend Rob. He got me hooked up with Unitronic Stage 2 right away. My coil's packed or crapped out on me, and hence why I currently have the R8 coil packs on hand. So I replaced those right away. Boom, car was fun. I liked it. I was hooked on power, or torque rather. As you know, the IS, I think, or ISHs, if those are the stock turbos, they're not KO3s. Those are for Mark 4s. If you didn't know, for 1.8Ts. But anyway, that turbo has a lot of torque, a lot of spike. It was, to give you a perspective, it was just a little bit quicker or on par with the something like 2016, 2014 Audi S4 that's supercharged without anything crazy going on there. So car made good power. I was hooked. I was like, okay, well, what I'm gonna do next? So I looked online for different things, and first thing that came in mind was the oil catch can. I got the CTS catch can. It looks like it's missing a bolt already. I gotta find that. Missing a catch can, missing a bolt there, but got a catch can there right away. Boom, it's been actually doing fantastic. Some people say it doesn't do anything, some people say it does. I gotta tell you that first oil change I've done with the catch can on, there was pretty much like caramel milk inside there. So it does work. It does do something there. I'm not saying that this is above and beyond, but whatever. It worked really great for me. Then I was like, okay, well, I need to add some money left over from the year of hard work. And I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to spice things up. So I was looking at KO3 or KO4 rather kits. I talked to my buddies and I was like, yeah, KO4, cool. I took a rip in my buddy's car. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I was like, well, I wanted to do something original, something different. So I came across this guy. He was selling his used kit. It was a GT3071R with a billet compressor wheel upgraded on it. And here it is. So this is basically a kind of an original, not original GT3071R kit that is now being changed to GTX3071R with custom intakes. Everything has been changed completely from that kit, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but I kind of started spending money left, right, and center. So this is a 4-inch intake tubing right now that goes straight into the turbo inlet. I would give you an idea, but you probably won't even be able to see anything down there, unfortunately. So anyway, so this is a 4-inch intake that goes into 6-inch filter, and that setup is going to go. I'm going to keep the pipe. I was testing out a couple of years ago with the exhaust wrap, see if it did anything. I've seen some guys online that tried it. They swear by it. To me, it is kind of redundant. So I got this DEI, which was my sponsor at the time. Some water for methanol. This sheath for intakes. I'm going to try that next. This humongous filter is going to go. I'm going to try the APR Carbonio version 2 intake. It's going to close. I actually had a little intake. Oh, that fell off. It was whatever R. I don't know what that is. It kind of came in the kit. It was right here, and there was a little filter in there, and whoops, and that kind of did not, and that kind of worked a little bit better. So this is kind of what the setup is right now. And then I started tuning. My next thing was I wanted to cool my oil a little bit and be a little bit more efficient. So I installed, I think it's a BHR or BBM rather. It's an adapter plate, which I have to take off, and it goes down somewhere there. There's the line right there, you can kind of see it. And the oil cooler is actually sitting in this section of the bumper. It does a pretty decent job. Design itself is kind of not the best. I guess not a lot of people do these kind of things with GTIs or Volkswagens in general. So I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna try to get it machined a little bit better, just to get the socket on the double bolt. It's kind of like it's basically a nut with 2 threads on each end, so you can screw it in, and it'll compress the plate inside your original oil filter housing, and then you put a new filter, which is actually Mark IV 1.8T filter, if you guys didn't know. The only difference is one is a male, one's a female end. That's all. Otherwise, they're identical. Now, I was thinking ahead, and I got this bad boy custom made for me from the exact same guy that got me the original kit. And this is my treasure. To give you a perspective, to get something like this done, it'll cost you thousands of dollars just to get it piped and with all the fittings and everything. It's a full custom setup. If some of you guys know Dustin Sands, he used the exact same guy, and he's got the exact same setup as mine, except this we went a little bit full bore, if you want to call it that. I talked to the same guy, and we decided to go a little bit step further with this setup, and this is basically about 1.5 times bigger in injector size than Dustin. So there's definitely more than enough fuel for methanol injection. And that brings me to the back. Show you real quick. Gun in the back. Oh, looks like it's locked. Just gonna look it real quick. So, don't mind this. Looks like I've been running a little bit. So this is the ProMeth 3.5 gallon tank full of meth. I'm pretty sure still methanol injection, not meth. Fantastic thing to have, I believe. Ooh, there we go. The pump itself hides right underneath, kind of in this general area. It's a very sleek design. I'm definitely loving it. And it kind of pushes everything through the controller, which is located in here. And this is the fail safe for it. I still have to adjust it and get it all tuned up. And then it goes through this I guess volume controller regulator thingy. It plugs back into your control. That's what failsafe actually does. One nozzle goes down there somewhere. Can't see it. Oh yeah, right. Where's my finger? Right there. Kind of if you want to look down there. And then 4 nozzles go in here, so it's basically like having 5 extra injectors. Tons of methanol going to be flowing through here. I've tested it out. There's no leaks. But unfortunately, because of my climate, there are no leaks in the summer, but unfortunately because of my climate, these things tend to get loose. I tried to use some nylon just to kind of keep it tight in there for now as a basically band-aid. I do have full AN lines or an AN conversion kit that I just have to install, so that'll be done maybe this year, maybe next year. Next on the list, what I've done is the custom intercooler. I'll try to find a picture to give you a perspective, but this is a 600 core intercooler. It's a full-on custom build. To give you an idea, so this is the bumper. I should go right here. So this is the bumper, and the intercooler is literally touching this little area. So it's that big. Yeah, the bumper pretty much sits on top of the custom crash bar, and the intercooler is connected to it. It's a very big unit. My buddy Aaron custom built and fabricated all that stuff for me. It's to say the least, it's massive. It's running. What else? What else we got here? That's kind of cool, kind of different. All the inlet outlet pipes, they're all being replaced. I've been trying to get rid of the air leaks, so that's why that kind of looks like that. That's your map sensor, and the new map sensor is somewhere around here. There we go. So this is the new what is it, 2-bar, 3-bar, I can't remember, that's the part number for it. Let's see. No, it doesn't say anything. So that's the sensor there. That's going to go in there and get that replaced. The car is tuned by Stratified, the one and only Alex. This setup right now as it sits is insanely efficient. You can make easily 500 to 600 horsepower if it's built. The block is not built. I'm in process of doing maintenance on it right now, hence why it's been sitting. I've been working like crazy. There's nothing too special about it. Car has been sponsored by DEI. That's been my main sponsor for a while. There are a couple things there, here and there. There's been Unitronic guys trying to get a hold of me, CTS, AEM. Lots of good companies out there. I've been very, very happy with everything that everyone has been providing me, especially DI guys. HPA guys have been a huge help as well. I went to their warehouse, and they've been nothing but fantastic group of guys there. I'll show you on the inside real quick. It's very simple. It's fully stock. There, all the seats are in here. It's a little bit dusty, dirty, but full interiors here. There's your cob, one and only thing that you gotta have. It's a great tool, great gauge. This is the custom little, or not the custom, little a little LED light for your methanol whenever it's going into boost. It uses vacuum actually through the controller, and then this kind of lights up. It also shows you when it's low. New south gauge. I ran this wire actually right through the vents and then into the OBD there. Custom button for your methanol. So this button, when you press it, it hooks up. It hooked up to my radar detector, as well as it's hooked up to the pump in the back. I can actually hear it. You might not be able to hear it in the background. This button turns 5 nozzles on, and then like that, only one is running. And then if you don't want to run any methanol, you turn this button off. Boom, you're done. So that's the fail-safe. As you can see, it's running. The car's not on, but the car currently has 156,000 kilometers. Again, it had 60,000 kilometers, and I've been testing and running different things here and there. I had this cheap carbon eBay little cover just because when we were hooking things up, I accidentally nicked this plastic here, so there were just a lot of scratches, and I couldn't find the replacement for it. So I ended up getting this little cover, and honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not personally too big on little fake carbon things. I'm kind of very simplistic guy, so that's that. This got an upgraded radio for it. I don't have the key, unfortunately, but whenever you go in reverse, I have a backup camera. It's actually the flip up little Volkswagen logo, and it shows you the backup camera there. The radar detector controller right there kind of sits very sleek, if you want to call it that. Garage door opener, nothing too crazy. The car's stock inside, nothing done to it. DSG is tuned. It's got the Unitronic Stage 2, which is they're tuned for the big turbo. I recently acquired these Yankees RPF1s. They're 18x9. Love these wheels. These are Falcon Azenis tires, 225 40 18s. As you can see, this side rubs a little bit. That's kind of how it looks. Also acquired this little diffuser kit from a buddy of mine. I don't know what brand it is or whatnot. Apparently it's worth some money. I got it for a couple $100. Custom exhaust. This thing has 3.5-inch exhaust all the way through. Right now it's running MagnaFlow, racing muffler, and the resonator. I used to run, I think I had probably like 4 different exhausts on it, and this is the one that I'm sticking to right now until I change my mind again, which happens almost every year. These are 4-inch tips. They're custom little tips that I got from the shop, and that kind of how it looks from the side. Now mind, the car is very dirty. It's been sitting, hasn't been washed. It's been ceramic coated last year, but it's still dirty. I've never washed it ever since. Euro taillights with LED little blinkers in there. All it is just a custom LED bulb that I found from, I can't remember honestly where, but it's very, very bright, very kind of unique. There's the camera thingy that I've been telling you about. So when it's not engaged, it's your regular trunk. And then when it is engaged, the logo kind of tilts back a little bit and the camera actually slides down, so it never gets dirty, which is a phenomenal thing. I do have a wiper delete. It's been sitting in my closet for many years, never been done. The fitment is very tight. I've been trying to adjust it. Oh, I'm running on Coney yellows, by the way, with H&R Super Sport springs. Brakes are stock for now. I'm gonna go with brake kit eventually. Just right now I've been doing only highway pulls, so it's been okay for me. I'm running, I can't remember which pads I'm running. They're a little bit more of an aggressive pad, but nonetheless. For tint, something minor, but I kind of tint all my vehicles the same way. They're 20% all the way around, and if you overlap the factory window tint, it basically does the same thing as your 5% in the back. So very simple car. There's nothing too crazy. I've changed a couple, bulbs here and there, whatever. It looks relatively stock, but it can do a lot of damage. So right now, as it sits, we've made 415 horse tops, and then we pulled it back down because we had a lot of MAF issues. To give you a story behind the MAF, why it looks the way it is, basically this pipe had a custom MAF bung in it. It literally was welded. This whole section was welded right into the metal or the aluminum, and then you put your MAF sensor inside. That, if you didn't know, will not work for a lot of reasons, because if you look at the diameter of the like the inside of the actual pipe, the diameter is actually very different. So when you're trying to tune, it's not the same as OEM, and it causes a lot of issues to tuning it to get the accurate airflow reading. Don't ask me how that works. I'm not an engineer, but that's exactly what I was explained, and why I kind of switched to this filter and the MAF, OEM MAF setup. Honestly, it took me probably 2 to 3 years to get it to this point right now. It's probably going to take me realistically another 2 to 3 years to get it all done. Right now, this stage as it sits, it needs a little bit of maintenance to be done. A couple of gaskets. This car is from 2010. I just did my timing chains, my guides, my chain tensioner, all that stuff, and now it's needing a new oil pan gasket, valve cover gasket, and a couple little leaks that over time started to occur, like this aftermarket sandwich plate from BBM. Unfortunately, it's leaking again, but what can you do? I'll try to make videos and try to make more educational videos about this car. There aren't that many of them. I know from just where I live, there's only one in this province with this turbo, or with this big, actual, true, big turbo, quote unquote, big turbo kit. From what I was told, there are only about 5 in Canada, which is where I live, and they're very rare. It's obviously very expensive. You don't realize how expensive everything is until you start buying parts and they don't fit, and you try different things and they don't work, or they work, and you end up getting a little bit frustrated, and you end up taking things apart a million times just to get something working. So if you're planning on doing this, realistically, if you're chasing after horsepower, I would probably recommend you getting a Mark 7 GTI, Golf R, whatever have you. Slapping a little bit bigger turbo, intercooler, all your little bolt-ons, and you're going to be making more power than this car in no time. My goal for this is my personal project. I bought this car as my daily originally, and I turned it into my quote-unquote race car. I'll try to track with it down the line, but this is my kind of baby, if you want to call it that. As you can tell, I'm not a shop. I do this in the comfort of my own home whenever I can, whenever I'm not working. But thank you very much for watching this video. I know this is a long one. I just wanted to make it a little bit more official, kind of give you a little bit bigger breakdown of this vehicle. I know we got a little bit of attraction of on one video, and I did some stupid things going really fast, or a little bit quicker, I should say. The car in that video was actually making, I can't remember, probably maybe 300 horse, 350 horse, somewhere around there. It was running only on base tune, and it's not very powerful as of yet. This car has tons of potential. It has a lot of supporting parts, and everything suspension wise has been done. It's just fine tuning the efficiency, and then getting it reliable, as reliable as possible without going too deep into it. I might, mind you, build an engine down the road if that is required, if that is going to be my kind of stopping point. But I'm trying to keep it simple, keep it very organic, not too crazy with wide fenders and wide body kits and whatever. So I'll try to make more videos, a little bit more, a little bit shorter, a little bit in depth maybe of what I'm doing at the moment with the car and kind of where it sits. But I'll toss the quote-unquote mod list maybe down in the description so you guys can kind of see what this vehicle is all about. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. If you are, I mean, this is looking like 27-minute video, so I don't know if a lot of people are going to be sticking around for this, but nonetheless, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.